Okay.
You are Luis Rodriguez. You are from
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania.
What brought you down to Florida?
The sunny weather and the beach.
Yeah, you just packed up. You're just like, I'm going to Florida, dude.
Yeah, so I was living downtown in the
Okay.
historical district of Philadelphia. It was nice. Been there for about 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Grew up in the suburbs. And we came down for vacation to visit my girlfriend's parents.
And you're just not leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it was like February. It had snowed in Philadelphia. And I think we were like sitting on the beach. And I was like, yeah, why are we going back to Philly now? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So 6 months later, we were moved down.
Sweet. Okay, you are how old?
31.
31, and your girlfriend is?
She's 31.
Okay, sweet. So you guys are the same age.
Yeah.
What were you doing back in Philadelphia as work?
So previously, I was working for like an internet company, selling tires.
Okay. So sales is not.
Yeah.
So right. So you were in the sales realm. You just didn't really. It just changed what you were selling from time to time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a good business. I mean, we started in like a closet, a small little company.
Okay.
I was the third employee. When after like 6 years, we sold to Mercedes-Benz for $350 million and
That'll do.
cashed out. Yeah.
Okay. That'll do. That'll do nice.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that held me for a while. Now I got to look towards the future.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice business. I mean, I built a good book, but it just didn't feel fulfilling.
Right.
You know, it was very transactional. It's tires.
Correct.
It's not
Transactional.
sexy.
There's no story to it. You have no clue that you don't care what these people are, what they're doing, what they're looking for.
I'll be honest, 95% of the people I never met in real life.
Okay.
98% of the people I never even talked to on the phone. Most people I did business through text or email.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was nuts.
And then to sell that company to Mercedes-Benz for 350.
Yeah. We figured out a better way to catch the mice.
Okay.
And they wanted a piece of that action. Actually, they wanted all the action.
Well, I just found out that Shad Khan, he made his wealth in like car bumpers. Like it's just like a single piece of car manufacturing that he somehow cornered, and like everybody has. So
yeah, it's like a lot of businesses. As far as like the internet, you know, the tire industry is just 20 years in the past, and my mentor and boss, he was like 35 at the time, and he was like, we could do what Amazon does for tires.
Damn, hardcore. That's sick.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so what real estate? You're just like, I'm getting in real estate. How'd that happen? You kind of like.
So when I was a kid, my parents used to like buy and fix up houses.
Okay, cool.
To add value.
Sure.
My mom is in mortgages.
Not a far stretch as far as like.
Yeah, no. And most of my family up north is in the construction business, in the unions. So working on the house is something that we've, always done. And then my mom does mortgages as well. So.
Okay, so this like made a lot of sense, right? So this wasn't just like a close your eyes, okay, it's real estate. It is. Okay. How did you find us? Just.
So, big internet guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. I love it.
So I was actually driving around and I had seen the billboards. And then as I started looking into my real estate license, the Instagram just kept popping up over and over and over and over.
You like the look of the Instagram, or was just the consistency?
Well, it was both.
Right.
It was the consistency. It was that you could tell that it was a young team. There was culture there to it. They were building something. It was attractive. It glued me in, and nobody else had really.
It wasn't old school real estate. It wasn't large baggy pants. It wasn't sitting in open houses. It wasn't right.
Like you send me a mailer. I mean, that's cool, but I trash all my mails.
Right. So unless it's directly related to you, you're just like, okay, great.
Yeah. It's just an ad, but you give me your story through 30-second minute visuals.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're totally right. So you get licensed, you speak with somebody on the success team, you're coming on board. Training was kind of like a whirlwind. You just got thrown into it. Was it with the sales background? Would you say it was easy, or it was still pretty hard?
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Right. I love that. Yeah.
As far as from sales point of view, I mean, it's the same stuff over and over. I think it's really like learning and understanding the real estate business and understanding your clients and the emotions that they have attached to this property or the future property that they could be interested in.
Big time.
Which typically, like in sales, what I was doing before was just about the numbers.
Yeah, it's a transaction, like you had said. It's everything's transaction. So you need tires, you don't. Great. Everyone needs a house. It's just a matter of like, is it this specific house versus like, hey, this is the best tire on the market. You and 500 million other people can have it. It's like, this is the house. It's either yours or it's gonna be somebody else's.
Right.
It's like understanding that.
Yeah. So that was the tough part, and then just making sure that, you know, everything's in order as far as making sure you're doing things the correct and proper way, and ethically and all that.
And just even transactionally, like all your ducks are in a row. I mean, we have a transaction coordinating team. Do you think that's a huge kind of like benefit to like?
Oh, massive.
Yeah. Right.
I have leaned on the transaction team so much through this.
I mean, that's what they're here for.
Yeah.
Right. Like, think about if you had to do all that work too. And I keep pointing because they're on the other side of this wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about if you had to sit there. I mean, so right now, let's just even peek at your stats. So you have 2 closings that are going on today. They're going to be your first 2 closings. And we have 8 more pending. Think about if you had to do all that paperwork, sitting there doing all that. Like,
there's no way.
Think about your life with your girlfriend and just outside of this building, what it would look like.
Yeah, there's no way. I just wouldn't be able to. The amount of inflow that I have coming in, it's insane. The amount of hot leads that I have, appointments. I mean, it's Tuesday. My schedule's already set for Monday next week, and blocked out at least 8 hours a day.
And I was going to say, and you're almost like 8 to 9 to 12 or 11 o'clock at night would have been the transactional work if these people weren't taking care of that for you.
Easily. And then, when do you sleep and when do you eat and have family or anything like that?
Right, exactly. So I briefly heard you talking to Brian before about one of these homes is actually going to be your own home.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you and your girlfriend are buying a home.
Yeah, I sold her the dream.
Love it. Love it.
No, we had been looking for a while, and we wanted to be close to the beach since we were in the city previously.
Right.
And we've been at the beach for like 4 years now, and we really like it. We enjoy it. But we wanted something larger, something newer. And we know that that's not that easy to get by the beach. So we found what we were looking for. Actually, we're right down the street from you.
Really?
Yeah, in Beacon Lakes.
I love that.
Okay.
Nice.
Just quiet, something larger.
Right.
And,
I love that. Now, you hit the 30-day review. We do a 30-day review for all of our newer agents here. Do you think that was any kind of catalyst? Do you think that was a reality check? Or you just already knew, like when you came in here, you took care of your training, you're like, I already know where I'm going. Like, how was that 30-day review? Was that a plus or a minus, would you say?
I would say it was a plus. I mean, I had my first pending in like 18 days, and the leadership knew that I had the understanding of sales, and how to acquire customers and close them. It was more so getting my understanding of the fundamentals of the business, which is what I was really looking for. I've had coaches, I've paid for those, all that.
Sales was easy. It was real estate.
The business, I needed a year and 30 days, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Which is what I got.
Yeah. So it's tough. Then the question I wanted to ask you, and it's kind of tough, is that as far as tools go, see, it's different because you came in with a sales background, but do you think there's been any kind of tools you've learned here that if you just fully left tomorrow, you were like, I'm a better salesman or I'm a better person because of this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we spend so much time in these classes and these trainings.
Right.
They're definitely very valuable, especially if you don't have the training.
Right, exactly. Just constantly staying on your toes with whatever's happening. How can I win that deal? Because last time I did it was this. And if you don't, almost like going to therapy, if you don't express that, explore it, say it out loud, you might not even believe it to realize it's a problem. Right. So it's like trying to find those things to make yourself better so that the next transaction, the next 3 transactions, you stop those problems before they even happen, because you're like, I see exactly where this is going.
Yeah. And you get to see because we're doing it in such a large setting, you get to see other people's thought process.
Right.
So it gives you, a different perspective through the process, and allows you to really kind of take what you like from what they're doing and implement it as well.
That's interesting. It's almost like a group therapy session where you're hearing other people's stories. You're like, wow, I actually didn't have it even as bad as that person, or wow, like my problem is pretty bad. Like, I just heard 10 people talk and no one was even as close to mine. Like, and I'm here, right? I'm still here. I'm still thriving. I'm still doing whatever.
Right.
So that's pretty wild. So you haven't been anywhere else. So it's kind of hard for you to kind of speak on this next question, but it'd be like, is there one thing that you'd say that this team has that's irreplaceable to any other real estate brokerage that you've kind of just seen?
Culture. Yeah. I would think I've worked at a lot of places, and I think that culture is probably the most important thing.
Right.
And the team atmosphere that we have here is, uncomparable to anywhere else that I've been, which is something that I really love.
I love that. So it's not like a competition. You're almost working alongside these people.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We're still competing against each other, but at the end of the day, we're all here for each other. We help each other, take care of each other, give each other leads.
Right, passing appointments. Like, hey, can somebody open a door for me? Or hey, I have an appointment at 5 p.m. Like, who can be there?
Right.
So that you don't personally look bad because you're all under this large umbrella of a brand, but at the same time, it's still your name that you're carrying with you. Do you find that? Do you find that you're not really pushing your name at all, or do you still think your name still carries weight in all the business that you're doing?
I still think that my name carries weight, but I think that the brand is really what holds strong. All the agents that I've spoken to and the pendings that I have, they've all said the same thing. We know you guys, we're familiar, and we love you guys. You guys are the best.
Right. So it's definitely a specific fit when it comes down to what you need. Even going off, you're just so in tune to, which is funny because I see a lot of people that are so worried about their own personal brand. It's like, at the end of the day, if your GCI is in the 4s,
right,
and no one knows who you are, does that matter? Or everyone knows, oh man, Lewis is like the guy we go to. He makes $30,000 a year, right? Like, really, what cuts it, right? At what point do you drop?
So I was at a party and somebody was like, "Oh, you work for that company?" That I've heard some things about the commissions and the splits and things, and I had just started, but I already had 3 pending. And she was like bragging to me about how she got to keep a higher percentage. Okay. For the entire year, she's only closed 5.
Got to keep all of it though.
Right.
That's
so it's
sick.
like, you gotta
kept all of it.
Yeah, kept all of 5, which is cool.
Yeah,
like,
and that's we've broken that down so many times. It's like, okay, would you rather have 100% of $100,000, or would you rather have 100% of $30,000? So it doesn't matter how much you've written that walked out the door.
Right.
It's what you're taking home.
Well, and not only that, but the experience. I mean, I
5 deals versus already you're at 10 deals.
I've pended 14 in 90 days. So I mean, the experience that I've been able to gain in a year's time, I mean, I should have hopefully 2 or 3 or 4 times what she's gonna execute this year. So,
right. It's while still keeping a normal schedule, normal work-life balance.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, dude, we're stoked to have you. I think you're a rock star. I mean, you already know that. It's not easy to come in here and do the things that you did, and then tell us about it on camera. So I hope the best for you and your girlfriend and you here, and I think you're gonna crush it, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Rock and roll, dude.
See you
Later.